quick radio check for me, gentlemen. Give me a thumbs up. You can hear me on the radio. Excellent. Perfect. Get those windows up. It's just that climb control, so we're nice and comfortable. We're just waiting for the other group that's on track to exit and get clear before we get rolling. And just like Aaron was saying, let's really focus on that precision for these first few laps. Let's try and think back to that video review class that we had just before autocross and try and fix some of our mistakes that we were making there that we noticed. Just try and really dial in those issues, and then we can, gradually keep building that pace. And with that, of us building the pace, more issues will start to come up. So if we try and fix the issues that we've experienced so far, it'll be a lot easier to deal with the new coming issues. Rather than having them all stack on each other, if we don't fix them, we'll end up just going faster and faster, and more issues will start to arise. So definitely want to focus on dialing in all of our little stuff, because those little mistakes will start to compound the faster and faster you go. Let's make sure we can hear me perfectly loud and clear. Obviously, these cars will start getting pretty loud around 6,000 RPM, and that's where you're going to be shifting. So moving forward, I'm going to be calling off the downshifts for you, but the upshifts, you should know roughly when to do it. But if I'm getting told on the radio that we are hitting the rev limiter, then I'll start calling the upshifts again. But definitely, gentlemen, just get in the habit. Whenever that car gets to 6,000 RPM,
bang it.
Hit that upshift paddle. On your heads-up display, it has those 5 little dots on each side of the park symbol right now. If we're in park or if we're in gear, it'll show a number, and then it'll have those 5 little shaded dots. So when we just get over 6,000 RPM, you'll see some light pop up in those 5 dots, or those 10 dots total. So as soon as you see any light pop up in that heads-up display, you can just pull that upshift paddle. It'll be right around 6,000 RPM, a little bit after it, I believe. But it'll be a good reference for you. Just get in the habit of it. And if you're not having too much comfort with the paddle shifters, you can just leave it in 4th, and you can do this whole track and run a 122 in just 4th gear. Definitely, it's all about momentum at that point. But I recommend experimenting with them, having some fun with them. Alright, we can go ahead and get them in gear if we're not already. Make sure we're in that manual mode as well. You see that number 1 on your center of your gauge cluster there. We're going to let the other group get some distance on us before we tail in behind them, and we'll start our warm-up lap. Alright, we can go ahead and start rolling here. Just look over and double check that you are still recording on your PDR system. You should see that timer clicking up on the display. We can short shift up to 3rd gear. Make our way into the blend lane. I'm going to reiterate the shift points on this warm-up lap as well. Show you that driving line again. So I'm just going to leave my car in 3rd gear for this, so we don't have to do any extra shifting right now. Got that brake marker there. This is when we're going to be applying the brakes. If we were in a higher gear, we'd go down to 3rd gear. You want to make sure you're in 3rd gear for turn 3. It's a decreasing radius. Try and find that apex cone as soon as possible to help you navigate how much steering you're going to need. It's kind of a touch-and-go white line. You can come out to it, get close to it, but not quite on it. You don't want to go too far out and possibly make it to where you have to add way too much steering after the fact. And remember there, Doug, that white cone with the pink sleeve is 3 to 5 feet. So right there, you got barely on that curving. So remember, 3 to 5 feet. This one for here in the bowl, I recommend about 3 feet from it, down to 3rd gear. And finding the apex cone in the bowl, you have to do some little steering tweaks to make it through. We're going to upshift to 4th gear before the launch pad. start gradually picking up that speed again, gradually rotating and steering over to the left, and now dragging the brakes up the hill from 5A. Light throttle will help push you out down to third gear at the top. And rolling into the throttle down, fourth gear. And dragging the brakes through the corner, turn 6, giving some throttle, get me to my apex at corner 6. Alright, so we got an apex cone down here on turn number 1. So just follow through with my lead car here, just kind of gradually going to dodge the rocks a little bit there, stay a little bit wider. Just check that hand position, gentlemen, we should be at 9 and 3. Let's go ahead and start picking up speed here, drive to your comfort level here, Doug. Alright, firm on the brakes down to third gear, carry that momentum, use that brake release. We're still taking a little with the speed because the tires are still pretty cold. And fourth gear into the chicane. Massaging that steering wheel through. Braking in a straight line down to third gear. Alright, you're going to miss that apex there in the bowl quite a bit there, Doug, so we'll try and work on that proximity moving forward. And dragging the brakes up the hill. Follow that black strip in the asphalt, bring it over. Still about 4 feet off. Come on now. Third gear at the top. Powering down the hill. Braking at the start of the curve and wait for your turning cone. Look for your apex sooner. Front brakes going into 7, third gear. Dragging the brakes through. I'm going to dodge that curbing because there's a lot of rocks on it. The second one we can get all over it. They're going to get that curbing cleaned up for us. That brake marker. Get your downshift done as well. So you're still braking fairly progressively, Doug. Make sure it's firm initial brake pressure and gradual release. Also, I'm going to help guide you through turn 3. You're having a little bit of difficulty getting that driving line done correctly. You're still kind of turning a bit too quick with your hands. So you're getting to the curbing about 10 feet too soon. Good, get it down more. You gotta look for the apex in the bowl there, Doug. Gotta get that car down. Bring it over more, you gotta turn sooner. You're still running about 4 feet off the curbing altogether. 4 feet there. Down the back. Third gear for turn 7. Alright, got one more lap with you, Doug. So let's really look ahead for these cones because you're not getting close enough to pretty much any of them. So let's look for them sooner and adjust the steering to get closer to them. Alright, at that brake marker, I need firm initial brake pressure. Good. Gotta slow down the hands on the entry. Your initial contact is aggressive on that steering angle. Looks like got a lot more rocks there in the chicane. Get those cleaned up, powering up the hill. Smooth steering over, dragging the brakes up. side throttle, help push you out to that turning cone down to third gear. Add some more steering to get closer to the apex. Still about 4 feet off. Braking at that brake marker, dragging it through. Good line, third gear. We're going to start slowing it down here. Excellent work there, Doug. We're going to do our first rotation, so go ahead and bring your car over to the right-hand side of the course for me. Robert and Michael, go ahead and come up behind me here on the left. And Doug, you're going to drop back in behind Michael's Red Mist 177.